Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create lists to put your leads and contacts into, and I'm going to show you how to manually create your first lead. So, starting right here on the dashboard, if you scroll over to the left-hand blue bar navigation, you can see this second icon here is lists, and I have none at the moment. Lists are just an organizational tool that you will use to contain all of your contacts, which can all be found here. But let's start with building a list. So I'll click on that, and you can see the list of lists right here. I currently have 0. So let's make a brand new one, and I'm going to call it training demo list. Oops. And you can give it whatever descriptive name, whatever description you like, where I keep my leads. You can have a list for each city that you're working in, each neighborhood, each campaign that you've got going on. But I will create that list right there. And there it is. There's currently 0 leads in that list, however, and there's a number of ways that you can add leads in Spectate. You will see in later videos you can upload them in bulk via a CSV spreadsheet file. You can connect up to another of online services such as Facebook, so that your Facebook leads from your ads are automatically added in here, or whatever other entry method. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can manually create a lead. So again, I'm going to roll over this and choose my list now. I could also click on the name here, I suppose, but going over to the lists and clicking training demo list will now show me all the leads in the training demo list. Again, it's 0, it's nobody right now, but these are all the different various fields that we can have for each of our individual contacts. This add lead button, when I click it, is going to bring up this panel where I put in someone's name. So this is a made-up person. We're going to call her Susie Homebuyer, and because she's an individual, excuse me, company and website aren't really appropriate, but phone number, this is a required data field, and I happen to have set up another account with this Twilio number that I'm entering now, 8304647. It's actually another Twilio line, but I'm going to put her phone number in there, and optionally you could add an email and an address and all that stuff. You can build your own custom fields if you had additional information on Susie, like her budget and her time frame, and you go to your heart's content. Social media fields could be like her Facebook profile, or etc., etc. But importantly and crucially, when you're manually entering a lead like I have right here with Susie Homebuyer, you're going to need, well, you don't require first name, last name, but you do have to have a phone number, and you have to check off this I have permission to contact these persons. There is no exception to this rule. For compliance purposes, you have to check this off, and I'm assuming that you do indeed have Susie's permission because she opted in on some form at some point in history. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and there she is. So now she appears in my list. And if I wanted to go in and edit Susie's details, I've got a couple ways of doing that. I could find her in the contacts tab, or I could just directly click on her phone number, and I could look under summary to see her data. I can also see the correspondence, which at this point is none. We haven't actually corresponded yet, but you could see the thread of all the messages that have gone back and forth. You could put notes in for Susie. You could add her to additional lists. If I had multiple lists in my Spectate account, I could put her on one or more of those. You will learn in a later video about campaigns I could add her to, and I could schedule actions such as automate phone calls and text messages in the future. That can all be done right here on this panel. But I'm going back to summary because it's important for Susie that her phone number, this 617 number, be recognized by our system not as a landline but as a cell number. Now, the reason it defaulted to landline is, as you well know, people port their numbers all over the place all the time. Maybe at one point in history you had a landline and you called your mobile carrier and you wanted to import your existing phone line to your new carrier. People are switching back and forth like that. So historically, at some point, this phone line must have been a landline in the past. But I do happen to know that it is now a cell phone number that I myself registered on Twilio. So I'm going to pull this down and change it to a cell number. Landline we can still use. We can use it to send voice calls to and voicemails, but we cannot send text messages or MMS, multimedia messages, to a landline. That's why we want it to be a cell number, and I'm going to hit save. And there she is. Now she is a cell number. And there you go. So we've added our first contact, and we've created our first list, and now we're ready, and we'll see you in the next video.